Well, you guys already know that I was not going to wait until Friday or Sunday to talk about NXT. The first 2-hour episode of NXT that went down last night. It is Thursday, September 19th, 2019. There's also another installment of Around the Point. Usually Around the Point is on a Sunday, or on a weekend in general, but I couldn't wait. I had to do it right now. Talk about NXT. The beginning of the Wednesday Night Wars, and oh my god, I've heard that literally yesterday like crazy. I know a lot of people are saying this was the best NXT of the year, of all year, right? The best episode, that is, right? And I gotta agree. I thought overall it was the best episode of the year. I thought overall it was an enjoyable 2 hours with a weird ending, but nonetheless, I enjoyed myself watching 2 hours of NXT. I know a lot of people had a lot of speculation what was going to happen, right? 'Cause think about this, right? A lot of us get tired. 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, and now you're going to give us 2 hours of NXT. What the fuck? But nonetheless, I enjoyed myself. I cannot deny that, right? But that's my thoughts. I want to hear you guys' opinion. I want to hear your point of view and all that fun stuff. By the way, it is Thursday. It is Thursday, September 19th. 2019, and I hope all of you in general are having a good Thursday right now, whether you're at work, whether you're at school. I hope you're all also having a wonderful week in general. That's all that fun stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. You can also, while you're at it, hit the big old thumbs up down below. You can hit that subscribe button down below and share the video throughout your entire social media. Like I said, follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. Use that hashtag on the bottom of the screen. Hashtag ATPoint. You can interact on Twitter and all that fun stuff. So let's get into the NXT, right? I know a lot of people were upset with the commercials during the show. The way I look at it, yes, were they a little annoying? Yes, all the fuck you want, especially during the middle of a match. But at the same time, how long have we been watching wrestling? You already know there'll be commercials. Regardless of the promotion, regardless of the show, there will always be a commercial break during a match. It's going to happen, right? I caught this. I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but they aired 2 commercials for AEW on TNT on the USA Network. And people were like, oh my god, how dare they do that, this and that. Like, who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? Seriously, who cares? Because I guarantee you, if AEW had their show on TNT, and they aired a commercial for WWE, whether it be a commercial for a pay-per-view, whether it's them hyping up 2K20, whatever the fuck it may be. Oh, how petty of WWE to do that, this and that. Who gives a shit? It happens. Even this, right? Even with NXT, how many times have we watched NXT on the WWE Network, and during a match, is a commercial of WWE promoting their own shit? Whether it's 205 Live, whether it's WWE Shop, whether it's the pay-per-view, it's gonna happen. This is what happens when you're on a network now, on a channel, and you have to answer to advertisers. Gotta promote their shit too. So I'll take that for what it's worth. But like I said before, I enjoyed myself. I thought it was an enjoyable 2-hour show. And like everyone else, this has to be probably the best episode of the year for NXT. But I welcome your feedback, guys. Give me your thoughts and comments below. So the show opened up with Triple H hyping up the crowd, hyping up NXT. You see him in a dark room, and they play like clips here and there about NXT. And then he pulls the curtain. It's the crowd of Full Sail University. Now, if you guys caught this or not, they changed the set at Full Sail a little bit. Not really much. Like they removed the ramp, right? And they have a stage now, but they removed the ramp to create more seating, which is not bad. But at the same time, though, I was expecting them to have a different set. But no, I thought what they had was good. The production value just felt different in a good way, in my honest opinion. We kicked off the show with a fatal 4-way to determine the number 1 contender to face Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. You had Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai, I'm saying it right this time, versus Bianca Belair versus Mia Yim. These ladies tore it up. They went out there, went balls out. The crowd was on their fucking feet. A good way to kick off the show. And I'll be real about it. I thought someone like Io Shirai was going to win. But no. I feel like, in all honesty, the right person got the win. That being Candice LeRae. She had a reverse Hurricane Rana, or reverse Rana, that is, right, on Mia Yim. And after that, she went for a springboard moonsault off the rope onto Mia Yim for the 1-2-3. And now Candice LeRae will challenge Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. It was announced during the show that it'll be 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks. And here's why I say that. Because in 2 weeks from now as well, AEW will be having their debut episode on TNT. And on that episode, it's going to be Riho versus Nyla Rose to determine the first ever AEW Women's Champion. On that same day as well over NXT, it'll be Shayna versus Candice for the NXT Women's Championship. Kind of coincidental, right? What a coincidence, if you will. But it should be a fun match. It should be a fun match. I don't really see Candice winning the belt. But I do think, though, it'll be a very good match. But again, all four women here tore it up. Got the crowd going crazy. A good way to kick off the show, in my honest opinion. So there's that as well. Okay? There's that. I do enjoy Io's new look. I haven't seen Bianca in a minute on TV. Mia Yim is talented, but she just feels like whatever at the same time. But Candice, I thought there was going to be a heel turn over there, but no, there wasn't. So there's that, right? And now she's challenging Shayna Baszler for the championship. So she's by the entrance area, and then out comes Shayna with the other members of the Horsewomen, that being Marina Shafir and Jasmine Duke. It's a stare-off, and there you go. We then get a one-on-one match between Cameron Grimes, formerly known as Trevor Lee in TNA, versus Sean Maluta. Sean Maluta was a competitor during the inaugural Cruiserweight Classic a while ago. The match literally, if you blinked, you missed it. The bell rings. Cameron Grimes hits the Grimes or Grims, or the fuck you want to call him, hits a standing double stomp. It hits the 1-2-3. Not even a minute. Like, this match could have fit on Instagram back in the day. That's how quick this match was. And I get it. You want to showcase Cameron Grimes, who's this guy that you're pushing eventually. And I'll say this too. You know, one of my big critiques of Trevor Lee back in the day in TNA, he came off as lazy to me. Like, he was just there, the same look, didn't even try, whatever. And here you can tell that they're finally trying to develop a character in him, which is good, which you need to do. And someone like Cameron Grimes, I do see going far at NXT. I'm not saying world champion, probably somewhere down the road, a challenger for the North American Championship. But again, I look forward to seeing what they do with him down the road. I look forward to seeing it. After that, it was announced that next week it will be Donovan Dijakovic versus Keith Lee. It was announced for next week's episode on the USA Network. So there was that. And then we had the main event, or for the main event for the USA Network, that is, right? We had Roderick Strong versus Velveteen Dream. This match was fucking amazing as well. They were fighting all over the place, in the ring, outside the ring. The crowd was going insane. The crowd, literally, in Full Sail. Yes, I've said before, they are annoying as shit. But yo, they delivered here tonight. That crowd, last night, they brought it, yo. They let it be known, like, yo, they're enjoying what the fuck they're seeing. Even if it's 2 hours. Fucking crazy. These two guys went out there. Here's the thing about it, too. If this was NXT on 2 hours on the USA Network, this should have been the main event. I get why it went at this time, because the final hour on the USA Network. So I get that. But if you really think about it, this should have closed your show. In my opinion. Right? That should have closed your show. And these two guys, again, went out there. They tore it up. Back and forth. Velveteen Dream was caught in the stronghold for a while. And got to the rope. It looked like he had the match ready to have won. Out came the Undisputed Era. There's a referee bump. There's a moment in the match where I think it was Adam Cole that involved, right? Or something like that. Which caused Roddy to pick up the momentum and hit the end of Heartache. got a near fall, a fucking near fall. Everyone went crazy, insane for that too. But eventually, yeah, Velveteen Dream, he hit the Death Valley driver that he does, right? Like he does like a handstand, like he does like a fucking cartwheel almost. Hit the Death Valley driver, and he's going for the Purple Rainmaker elbow drop, right? And Adam Cole did a super kick while he's on the top rope or on the top turnbuckle, that is, right? And then Roddy just picked up the win from there at the end of Heartache, capitalized 1, 2, 3, and we have a new North American champion. And with that being said, the Undisputed Era, they fulfilled their prophecy. All members have titles now in NXT. All members. Roddy's the new North American champion. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly are the tag team champions. And now also Adam Cole is the NXT champion. So all 4 members finally have belts. Cool to see. Awesome. But again, I would have saved that for the end of the show. Not in the middle of the show, but I get why they did what they did. Totally understandable. And that was the first hour. Again, if you would have just given me that, I would have enjoyed myself too. But then it went on. And we moved from there to the WWE Network. And on the network, we kicked off with Pete Dunne versus Arturo Ruas. We've seen him before. The match, it was an okay match. Nothing to go crazy about here. Lately, Pete Dunne has been winning with the finger snapping, right? So he had Arturo Ruas in a modified triangle choke, and then he just snapped the fingers and it started bending him back, and Ruas just tapped out because of the pain. Understandably so. That being said, though, Pete Dunne now in NXT US, good move, a smart move. And again, I thought overall, someone like Pete Dunne being on NXT US, not only is it a good move, but I look forward to the matches now that we can see from him as a singles guy, if you will. Let's see what happens with him. But he won't be the only NXT UK guy that we'll be seeing on the show. We'll get into that momentarily. After that, we had Xia Li versus Aaliyah. Now, I've seen Aaliyah wrestle before. She's partnered up with Vanessa Bourne. They're doing this whole thing where they're superior than everyone else. Everyone's a lower. And I thought, honestly, that with this, that Aaliyah was going to win. But I was wrong. And they had Xia Li pick up the upset win, you could say, right? She did a spinning kick. And then she did like a tornado kick as well for the 1, 2, 3. And there was that. But they also, what they did here was talk about Xia Li, the first ever Chinese women's wrestler to wrestle in WWE and stuff like that. So again, I get what they're trying to do there. Develop someone new at the expense of someone like Aaliyah. But honestly, again, it is what it was. And then we were going to get Kushida in action. They were advertising Kushida in action. Kushida was supposed to face a guy named Denzel DeJournette, whatever the fuck his name is, okay? He was supposed to face Kushida. Hey, think about it, right? Why would they waste Kushida on a guy like this guy? Think about that, right? But instead, Denzel was attacked and destroyed, literally obliterated, by Marcel Barthel, Fabian Aichner, and Alexander Wolf of Imperium from NXT UK. And while this was happening, people were chanting for Walter. We want Walter. Where is Walter? Where's Walter? We want Walter. And you see all 3 of them. They're in the middle of the ring. They put their shoulders back like this, like right, hard body, if you will. The lights went out, and out came Walter, and the place went insane. The place just went bananas. And I thought this was very well done. Very cool. And again, like I said, they went balls out with all the name that they've brought on this show, especially the first 2-hour show. They literally did not hold back. Out comes Walter. He talks about them being Imperium, how they're going to change everything, how they're going to fix the sport of wrestling. Basically, how he's going to fix the sport of wrestling. But after this, they were interrupted by Kushida, who was supposed to be in a match, and who said that this was his time, right? He said that this was basically his time, And Kushida briefly brawled with Imperium until he was caught by Walter. And Kushida escaped. But at the same time, though, what they did, they teased a match between Kushida and Walter. Now, you can say the battle is a mismatch. Oh my God, But at the same time, if you watch TakeOver Cardiff, you saw how Tyler Bate and Walter had a good match as well. An amazing match. Probably the match of the year for WWE programming. And Tyler Bate is almost the same size as Kushida. Or a little bigger, but still. Just imagine what Kushida can do with someone like Walter. I think it writes itself. And you know what? You do that at a TakeOver. There's another thing too. Now that NXT is a 2-hour show, live that is, what do you do at TakeOver? I mean, do you still do TakeOver on a Saturday night? Because it's going to feel the same almost. Granted, I'm pretty sure those TakeOver will still be in an arena somewhere, not at Full Sail University. But I think, again, that's one thing. Like, what do you do with that now? It's a question. But a TakeOver match between Kushida and Walter? Sign me the fuck up. Sign me the fuck up. I'm all in for that. I'm about it. Why the fuck not? I think it writes itself. It's money, and it makes sense. After that, we got a match. A Cruiserweight Championship #1 contenders match. There was talk that 205 Live are going to be disbranded and all the Cruiserweights will be moving to NXT. I think that's a smart move. I think I said this before. I think I said this on the last episode around the point where I gave my review of Clash of Champions. The idea of them moving the whole division to NXT will be a smart move. Because that crowd at Full Sail will appreciate it more than a crowd in some arena during a kickoff for a pay-per-view. In my honest opinion. And you know what? You can still rebrand it. You can rename it the NXT Cruiserweight Championship or still call it the WWE Cruiserweight title. Which is funny too because when Walter came out, right, they had him labeled as the NXT UK champion. But yet you had, I think, Mauro or Nigel call him the WWE UK champion. So what really is it? I don't fucking know. But point of the matter is, you move that whole Cruiserweight division to NXT, I'm all in for it. It's a smart move. That crowd will appreciate it. They'll love it. They'll go apeshit for every single thing they'll fucking do. And that title being defended at a TakeOver will be more value than it'll be defended on the kickoff show to a fucking pay-per-view. There's that. So we had Oney Lorcan versus Lio Rush. The return of Lio Rush, the man of the hour. Everyone thought Lio Rush was done. He was going to get let go. We've all heard what happened a couple of months ago. Apparently him and Finn Balor getting into it, and then them pulling him off TV and stuff like that. Apparently they offered him a new contract, and he turned it down because he wanted more money, this and whatnot, and now it looks like he's in good spirits. And you know what? Believe it or not, yes, I was critical of Lio Rush at one time. I really, really was. And I said what I said. However, I will say this too. I'm happy to see him now in good spirits. I'm happy to see him now in NXT, finally enjoying what he's doing. And to be fair with you guys, I feel like that should have been the move from the beginning. Keep him at NXT for a while, let him get some matches here, let him do his stuff, and then eventually move him up to the main roster, or that being 205 Live, where the fuck it may be, right? And he went out there and he became a fucking babyface. He literally became a babyface just like that. And he tore it up with Oney Lorcan. These two guys went out there and just had an amazing match. Oney Lorcan slapped the living shit out of Lio Rush like 5 times in the match. And again, it's a good back and forth. You remember how good of an aerial wrestler, of a high flyer that is, right? Is Lio Rush. And that being said, again, a good back and forth. Lio Rush picked up the win, right? With the frog splash. And now he'll challenge Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship. So the story, in my opinion, writes itself. Here's a guy who had his problem, who had his issues, right? And now he's back. He's back, he's focused, and the story writes itself. And I think, again, Drew Gulak will have a very good match with someone like Lio Rush. Do I see him winning the belt? Yes, but not right away. That is, we don't know when they'll have the match. It'll probably be 2 weeks from now on NXT, or maybe on a pay-per-view. We shall see. But again, I'm happy that Lio Rush is back on television. I'm happy that he's back to NXT, where he should have been the entire time. And now, hopefully, again, he continues that momentum and nothing but positivity his way. So there's that. We then go on to the main event. It was a street fight. Matt Riddle versus Killian Dane. That literally went to a no contest. So they're brawling. They're outside. They're outside of Full Sail. And you see Walter and Imperium just chilling there. And they get involved. And there's this fucking brawl. And out comes the entire, or a good majority, of the NXT US roster to beat up on these guys. You have the Forgotten Sons, the Street Profits, Raul Mendoza, Pete Dunne, so on and so forth getting involved. So basically, let's put it this way, right? You had all these guys that represent NXT USA beating up 4 guys from NXT UK during a Matt Riddle versus Killian Dane match, which was, by the way, a street fight that went to a no contest. And that's how you end the show. Yes, I get it. It's stupid. It makes no sense. Because after all, it is a street fight. There's no disqualifications. Anything goes. But it was a brawl. It felt like something you would see on Monday Night Raw or on SmackDown. But at the same time, though, even with that, the show was still a good 2-hour show that I enjoyed. And now, again, this is the beginning of the Wednesday Night Wars. People are talking about follow that, some shit like that. But I think right now, and I said this a long time ago, I'm going to say it again, this is a good time to be a wrestling fan. If there's ever a time, this is it. Because not only are you having Wednesday nights with NXT, you're also getting AEW in 2 weeks on TNT. You also have Impact Wrestling now be on Access TV. We don't know what day will it fall on. We don't know what day. You still have Ring of Honor, still have New Japan. You have your indie stuff as well. Again, wrestling in 2019 is not bad. For all the shit that you may hear, it's a good time to be a fan. And I look forward to it. I think at the end of the day, the real winners is us, the fans. Because we have options now. And you can watch everything. You don't have to just be submitted to one brand or one team. No. So, there's that. This is my overall thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. Give me your feedback. Give me your thoughts on last night's episode of NXT. What did you like? What did you not like? And all that fun stuff. We will be live tomorrow for the Team Hill podcast. And I will likely hear Mike's thoughts, or Walter's thoughts, or maybe even Chase's thoughts on NXT and all that fun stuff. All right? But this has been Around the Point. I know this is short, sweet to the point. I got stuff to do, so this show will not be like a fucking 40-minute long of a show, but this is a short clip. There will be also another Around the Point this weekend as well. Just keep your eyes peeled on that one as well. So there's that. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up and share through social media. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. I want to give a big thank you to, in my opinion, the best graphic designer in the IWC, the one, the only, Salrex. If you are a YouTuber, if you are a podcaster, you want awesome logos like like when you see for Around the Point, if you want awesome overlays like you see for Around the Point, hi, how you doing? Then you gotta hit him up on Twitter at SRXGFX. Tell him that I sent you. Not only is he doing designs for me, but also for the likes of JD from NY206, the Solid Monster, House of Glory, Big Mike, and so many others as well. All right, guys, I have chicken to take out of the oven. And that being said, guys, this has been a early impromptu Around the Point. Have a good week, everybody. See you all Sunday for Around the Point and tomorrow for the Team L podcast. Side dorks.